Hello guys, Transformers the Fan 5000 here. Firstly, I just want to say sorry for the microphone quality. My PC is currently going through repairs, hopefully, so I'm just kind of recording on my phone right now. So hopefully that issue will be fixed in the next video or two. So a little while ago I thought of, why are there no Studio Series exclusives? We've got the Retro Pop Bumblebees, we've got the Universal Studios Megatron, but we don't have any exclusive Studio Series figures. Not like the Generation Select figures. Now the Generation Select figures kind of takes inspiration from previous released toys such as Generation 2 figures and characters that appear in the mangas, the comics, the Japanese shows, and they're all either repaints, redecos, retools, etc. of pre-existing figures. In Generation Select there's not really any original molds. I guess you could almost say Super Megatron, but even then, he's a remold. He's a remold of Titan's Return Galvatron. So, still. So there's not really an original mold. And I thought, what happened if we had a Generation Select line, but for Studio Series? And this is an idea that I've kind of thought. What happened if we had a Studio Select line? Now this would be figures that are pre-existing, but taking inspiration from the movie comics, the books, potentially previous toy lines such as All-Spark Power, Hunt for the Decepticons, etc. And these will all be pre-existing figures. There won't be any new molds like a new Swindle or a Fallen, because we haven't got the Fallen yet. These will be pre-existing, such as an Optimus Prime, a Bumblebee, a Jazz, a Megatron, and these will be throwbacks again to previous toy lines, comics, books, etc. Now potentially we could actually get this in the future, if you share this enough and get Hasbro's attention, maybe we could make this an official thing. Who knows? Now I have a big list of figures that I have ideas for, but if you guys have any ideas, please do let me know. So I'm going to try and keep it official, so we're going to have 4 Deluxe figures, 2 Voyagers and 2 Lead Class figures. Now what I've got so far is we take the 07 Ratchet and repaint him red and white, so exactly like his Generation 1 colours, and it's going to be a throwback to the Rescue Ratchet, which was released in the first Michael Bay film, and we had it in the Hunt for the Decepticons toy line, and again under Specialist Ratchet for Dark of the Moon. It would be really cool to see potentially Ratchet have a different weapon as opposed to the saw on his blaster, maybe have his EMP generator. That would be pretty cool. The second Deluxe figure would be All-Spark Power Recon Barricade. So we'll take the 07 Barricade and colour him into silver and blue. Maybe give him different weapons again, just to kind of like differentiate it from the original Studios figure, so we get a bit more. Maybe give him Frenzy as well, like a blue Recon Frenzy, that'd be good. Maybe give Barricade his Interrogator spikes, that would be really good as well, and potentially his weapon from Dark of the Moon, that would be awesome. Next, for Wave 1 of Deluxe, we would have All-Spark Power Cliff Jumper. We could either take the 07 Bumblebee, the Concept Chimera, or the Revenge of the Fallen, potentially Dark Moon as well, although we haven't got that figure yet. But just take Bumblebee and repaint him either red and silver or red and black. Maybe give him his Energon dagger like he had in the All-Spark Power toy line, and that would be really good. I prefer an unmasked version, but obviously we could get a masked. Next would be to take the Dark of the Moon Sideswipe and turn him into Dark Steel. Maybe potentially give him a new weapon like his Mech Tech weapon, a new face sculpt. That would be a pretty cool look for Dark Steel. The next is the 2 Voyager class figures, so we would take the Revenge of the Fallen or the 07 Starscream and paint him black, purple and red, and give him a new head sculpt, potentially a new weapon, and turn him into Skywarp. I really think that would work well. And next, for the second Voyager, we would take the 07 Optimus Prime and turn him into Robo-Vision Optimus Prime. This was a figure released in the original toy line, and it was a skin in Transformers the game, so that'd be an interesting throwback. For Optimus Prime in the Studio Series, we only have the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime and the 07 and Dark of the Moon Prime, because they're basically the same figure, and then the Revenge of the Fallen, so it'd be nice to see a new deco on Optimus Prime. And finally, for the 2 Leader Class figures, we would have Evac. So we'd take Leader Class Blackout, take away Scorponok, give Evac a new weapon, obviously repaint Evac into his colours and retool his head. I think that would work perfectly for Evac. And finally, for the second leader class figure, we would have Shadow Armor Grimlock. So take the Grimlock figure, which is already really good, paint him black and purple, and maybe even give him his mace. That would be a pretty interesting weapon. This would be a throwback to the tiny turbochargers. This was originally a figure, Shadow Armor Grimlock, and I really think it would work well in Studio Series, or Studio Select, shall I say. Now that's what I've got so far for Wave 1. Let me know what you guys think, and again, potentially, if this gets enough views, we can potentially ask Hasbro to actually make a Studio Select line, giving us figures from the Hunt for the Decepticons, the Dark of the Moon, Revenge of the Fallen, Allspark Power, and characters from the comics. You know, we could get figures such as a Thundercracker, we could get figures such as Ramjet, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. I've got a whole big list of potential figures we can have. So if you guys want to see a second part to this, please comment below, let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions, let me know. And I think that's all I've got to say. So if you like the video, please give it a share, a thumbs up, subscribe. More videos coming soon. I appreciate all your support as usual. Until next time, roll out until all are one.